Hi. Hey there, Rika.
Hi, Denise.
Hey there. Good to see you as always.
Yes.
Yeah, and good to see everyone joining us as well. Thanks so much for being here. It is March 30th, Thursday. I can't believe where did the month go?
It flew
Um,
by.
I know it flew by. It's flying by. I'm Denise Kagler. I'm coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts, and a very nice day. A little windy, a little chilly, but it is still March. So, what can you do?
Well, I am Barika Phillips Bell, and I am with B3 Media Solutions, and I'm coming to you from a very wet and rainy Los Angeles, California. They said it never rains here. That is a lie. It's raining here all the time. This is the rainiest March I've ever experienced.
Wow. And you guys have been getting some really bad weather. I mean, I'm on the East Coast and we haven't had much of a winter at all. And you guys have been getting what we should be getting.
Yes, yes. But
Wow.
also, we've been getting not only that, but flooding. And there were thunderstorms today, like literal thunderstorms. Like I haven't seen thunderstorms here ever.
Wow. Wow. Well, stay safe, everyone there. Stay safe. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, welcome to Brand Rewind Live. So, today, let me just say the Patia. So Patia's not here because Patia is traveling. And so we are missing her, but we will get through it, Barika. We will get through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will. So it is March 30th, and it's a special day for me. So, we always have what's being recognized today. So today happens to be National Doctors Day. And the reason that is special to me is because it also happens to be my dad's birthday. And I will say my late dad's birthday. He would have been 80 years old today. He passed away a year ago. April 14th would be the 1 year since he passed. So it's been a tough year. And when I think about National Doctors Day, I think about all the doctors who helped take care of my dad before he passed away. And what's special about doctors, there's a lot of things special about doctors, but they not only take care of the patient, they take care of the patient families. And doctors rallied around me when my dad was dying in the hospital. So kudos to doctors out there, and so glad there's a National Doctors Day to thank them and celebrate them for sure.
Absolutely. So love the fact that, we have so many doctors, especially during COVID, that they really stepped up. And so
They
in
did.
in in all aspects. Happy
They
Doctor's Day.
Yes, yes. And my dad, he was so into pop culture and entertainment. We would have so many fun conversations about what was happening. I mean, he was older, but he knew everything about pop culture. So he would be tickled pink to be listening to the stories we're going to be talking about today because we got a whole lot to talk about today, Barika.
Well, we got some pop culture now. So your dad will be smiling up in heaven with the ancestors,
Yeah.
today with what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So let's kick us off.
All right. So our first story, which is very, very interesting. So we are going to be talking about American Idol. So I don't know if any of you out there are actual fans of American Idol, but I am. I've actually watched it from literally from the very first time it came out all the way till now. So even after 20 seasons, I am still obsessed with the show, and I'm sure many of you are as well. And this season did not disappoint as American Idol once again made news thanks to Katy Perry, Luke, and Lionel Richie giving out something that few contestants actually ever see. And that's called a second chance. So Fire, who you see pictured here on the left, she actually is a contestant. She's 22 years old, and she shared with the judges some of the struggles that she's faced. She told the audience that her mother struggled with drug addiction, which led her to be put in state custody at a very young age. And she introduced herself as a dancer. And of course, Katy Perry inquired what kind of dancer she was, and she whispered, she was a stripper. She was a stripper. And despite her upbringing, Fire, she brought her 4-year-old, and you can see her here pictured. She brought her 4-year-old daughter to the audition and said that she became a mom herself at 18, and their daughter is a great joy in her life. But the real story is that, She sang Bruno Mars, Talking to the Moon, and she got coaching from Katy Perry. But while she earned a yes from Katy Perry, Brian and Lionel Richie all said no's. And if it couldn't get any more heartbreaking, her 4-year-old ran over, got a golden ticket from the shelf, and brought it to her mother, who was crying, just to cheer her up. And Fire told her daughter she had to put the ticket back, but Katy Perry walked up to her and offered her something that the judges rarely give, which is a second chance. And they invited her, as you can see, the second picture, to come back to give a final performance in Nashville for another audition. She returned and sang Adele's Love in the Dark, which I am obsessed with Adele, and it showed marked improvement. And as you can see, Fire left with that golden ticket, won American Idol. And she said, I could see that she had shifted, her performance had shifted. And she was able to open up her singing and really show her gift all over again. And she left with that golden ticket. And that was just a heartwarming moment of many. American Idol is really, really good for like those heartwarming moments, those heartwarming opportunities that make you cry, because that's what American Idol does. They make you cry. And the little girl taking that ticket was everything. It was everything.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So kudos to Fire. I hope she goes far.
Yeah, talk about a brain rewind moment. I mean, when she came out, yes, and looked completely different than she looked the previous, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks prior. So no, I saw that, and it was very touching, and good for her for allowing herself to not mentally giving up, and doing whatever she needed to do to get back up there and sing and then make it to Hollywood. So good for her. Good for her.
Well, she said that she needed it. So that was like, this was something she said, I needed this. This is going to change my life. And she's right. So I hope so.
Yeah, me too. And speaking of pop culture, as we were talking a few minutes ago, the whole Gwyneth Paltrow case ended today. And she prevailed with her $1 countersuit against the doctor. What's his name? I wrote it down. What is Terry Sanderson? Filed a $300,000 lawsuit against Paltrow, and he lost. So, Barika, remember it's he says he sustained all these injuries, and we're not going to talk about that because it's a whole list of injuries, and whether or not it happened. Obviously, the jury said, well, they didn't really agree. He didn't win. Let's just say he didn't win. But what's fascinating is that her attorney put up, and I did catch some of the clips of this. Gwyneth Paltrow's attorney put up photos of I think he's a doctor, Dr. Sanderson, traveling all over the world. And the attorney was going down. Is this you ziplining since the accident? Is this you skiing since the accident? Is this you hiking since the accident? Is this you traveling all over the world? I remember thinking, man, he's cooked.
You had to know, like seriously, like if you're gonna bring a lawsuit up against a celebrity of that caliber, you better be tight. You can't be traveling. You better be in a wheelchair on some crutches the entire time. Like seriously, like that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty, and they made him acknowledge it. It wasn't just that they were putting up the photos, and the attorney would say, "Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?"
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that was kind of brilliant. That was brilliant. So anyway, so and she issued a statement. I actually didn't read the statement, but I saw that she did issue a statement. But before we move on to another story we had planned for today, let's not forget history was made today, political history, with the first ever former or sitting president being indicted on criminal charges.
Yes.
Of course, Donald Trump. So that's going to be fascinating. Apparently, he's going to. What I was listening, when I was in my car from a gig a little while ago before coming on, I was listening to CNN on the radio, and they were confirming, I guess through legal sources, that he is going to be, meaning Donald Trump, is going to be fingerprinted. He's going to be, he's going to have a mug shot taken. Like, wow, really? Oh my God. I mean, but they did stop short of Rico saying that he didn't have to do a perp walk. You know those things they call perp walk, that he wouldn't have to
Yeah,
do.
no.
Probably.
I find it hard to believe that he will ever see the inside of a jail. Like
Oh,
what jail will he go to?
no, and they were acknowledging. I mean, all the media outlets acknowledged that, and he also is sending out a fundraising letter, email. He's going to raise money. He's going to raise money through this. So more to come. I just hope nothing happens to the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. I do not want anything to happen to this guy because there are all kinds of death threats coming at him, even
Yeah,
before the indictment. So you can imagine what the death threats or whether they're threats, death threats, or just threats are going to be coming at him now. So please, please watch over this man.
yeah.
Anybody, because they're talking
Everybody,
about
everybody
anybody.
connected to the can. Everybody connected to the case. It could potentially be an issue with the groups that are supportive
Yeah,
of Donald Trump. But
yeah.
yeah,
No, it's so more to come on that, and let's just hope that there's peace and no riots, no violence in protests. If there are protests, let's hope that they are peaceful and nonviolent protests. But more to come on this next week. Okay. Um, so here's a so you gotta love anything that brings Snoop Dogg in the news. So if you haven't heard, if you probably have heard this story that a Mississippi anchor had a little situation happen that she probably regrets. So take a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this story comes out of Mississippi. There was a news anchor. I guess she was trying to be down and quote Snoop Dogg, and it ended her career at the news station. I'm going to go ahead and play this video, and I'll be right back.
A shizzle, my nizzle.
I'm telling you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anchor's name is Barbie Bassett. She is now very unemployed for quoting Snoop Dogg on the air. Now, she doesn't realize nizzle is slang for the N word.
oh wow.
Oh wow! Now, okay, so there are people who are coming to her defense. It was all on talk radio, even some of the talk shows. The View, Whoopi Goldberg was one of those who stood up for her, and I'm going to quote. She says, "Hey, I think this was her. Yeah, The View. Goldberg addressed the issue and said people have to understand that sometimes stuff comes out of folks' mouths." And you might want to start with, hey, maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to say, as opposed to you're out, meaning the station firing the anchor right away, as opposed to saying maybe we should have not said what she said. There are a lot of people who are saying, and by the way, I would fall in this camp, that she probably didn't know what it meant when she said,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a clue what that phrase meant. Not a clue. And it wouldn't even I don't know the context of when she said it or what context she said it in, whether she was responding. I'm sure there were some clips. I saw a bunch of clips, and that was a clip that we pulled out because I liked the woman who introduced it. There was something about her that I liked, but there was a lot to choose from. But so I don't know what prompted her to say it. But yeah, so she's out of a job. But you know what, Barika, my guess is she's gonna land somewhere. Like I got a feeling she's gonna land somewhere because there's so much attention to this story right
The
now.
story, I'm sure she'll land on some news show that it tries to be hip and reinventive and something like that. That she seems like she would be that type, but it's probably like our grandkids.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure grandkids probably were listening to it and they said it and she thought it was okay and she didn't really understand what it was. But yeah, that happens.
When I heard that, I was like, man, I wouldn't know either what that meant. I never even I mean I don't have Snoop Dogg on my phone. I don't have his his any of his songs and any of my playlists. Obviously, we know who he is, but I couldn't tell you any Snoop Dogg lyrics. But too bad for her. I mean, she said something. Talk about a brand rewind moment. I'm sure she wishes that she hadn't said it. But all this uproar, my guess is she'll land somewhere. Maybe she'll get on a reality show. Isn't that what usually happens when you get into trouble? You land a reality show.
Dancing
So
with the Stars, I'm sure they'll take her.
you
Dancing
know
with
what?
the Stars
That's interesting.
generally
That
is a good place. Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
speaking of Dancing with the Stars, just quickly, I saw, and I used to watch it. I haven't seen it in a bit, but I did see right that Tyra Banks is no longer going to be hosting it, and Julianne Hough and Alfonso Rivera are going to be hosting it now.
Oh,
I think I got
really?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because but I couldn't read what happened with. I couldn't find anywhere to understand what happened with Tyra Banks because
Hmm.
she was on for 3 years, which I can't believe it's been 3 years. She was on for 3 years, but it's moved off of ABC, and now you can only watch it on the Disney the streaming channel. Disney, I think did I get that right? I think it's this Disney streaming channel. So it's
Wow.
changed. Even how you consume it has changed. Where you can find it has changed. But that's a whole nother thing is that Tyra Banks is gone from Dancing with the Stars. So that's interesting. All right.
Well, well, all I can tell you is I love Tyra Banks. She's an icon. But let's get to Queen Bey because that is another icon that I absolutely love. And you'd have to be living under a rock if you did not know that Beyonce is kicking off her 2023 Renaissance World Tour. It's a 41 show global show that kicks off in Stockholm on May 10th. Now, if you also didn't know, Beyonce has landed a cover on Vogue France, which is like, you know, a pinnacle of magazines for a person to be on. And I wanted to show you some of the couture fashions that she is donning on within the magazines, as you can see. And she's pictured here with the editor of Vogue France. He's Rusting, and he actually is the Balmain creative director. He reached out to her because he really loved her album. He really loved Renaissance, and
Hmm.
he decided to create this thing called Renaissance Couture, which features the 16 outfits that were all inspired by tracks from her Renaissance album. And so I wanted to play this for you guys so you can kind of see a little bit about what all of the different fashions would be in this. So
Wow.
take a look.
Mm. Wow.
These are all of the outfits.
Now these aren't to be worn, right? I mean,
I mean, I don't know where you're gonna wear them, Denise, but I mean, maybe that one. I could see that at the Met Gala.
oh, see that, but nobody wears anything regular to that either. That you could just wear.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I could see that looks like hair right there, and the
That's
peacock. I
cool.
don't know. That's actually
That
cool. It's like
that black
chandeliers.
one was cool.
So as you can see, like all of the fashions, they're really out there. They're really inspired. But Beyonce was actually one of the artistic directors in this as well. So she helped him design these very couture fashions. So if any one of you are out there going to the concert, you know, maybe you can pick one of these outfits up, have your own inspired version of this, but it definitely will be something for you to watch at the concert because she will be donning these outfits during the show. And so
And my guess is, Barika, if she sees somebody wearing one of those, she's gonna call you up, call you out, and maybe even call you up. Who knows?
exactly, but I love the actual reach out. So he did this via Instagram. So I have to show you that. This is what he said. He said, "Dear at Beyonce, creating this couture collection with you was more than a dream." That he wrote on Instagram. You inspired me every day since the beginning of my career. Renaissance is more than an album. It's freedom, strength, love, and a battle for a better future. So,
Wow.
you know, he obviously was inspired by this. And so you can tell by the fashions that, you know, they went there and I'm excited to see it play out.
Well, hopefully it'll do better than her Adidas line.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Ivy, what's it called? Ivy. It was called Ivy something. Was her
Oh,
clothes?
Ivy Park. Ivy Park.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. They got pulled.
Oh, I bought like one item from there, and that was it.
Yeah, Adidas. Yeah, they dropped Beyonce's Ivy Park clothing line. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well this line does. And is it even going to be available for? I mean, like,
Like
where is
I
it gonna
I
be?
didn't see where it was, like I didn't see that it was going to be available for sale anywhere. It just said that they created this couture to go with the album. So I don't know if it's more of something that they're going to do,
Branding,
branding. Like,
branding.
because honestly, where would you wear any of those fashions
Yeah, where
other
would
than the
we?
Met Gala? Where
Where would
where would we? I don't know.
all of us? All of us.
Where would we wear this? I have no idea.
Nowhere. In our dreams.
In our dreams, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. So we go from this couture line of clothing that most of us would never, well, first of all, we wouldn't even have access to it, let alone actually wear it. So let's make the transition from clothing to names, celebrity names. So we've all seen it, we've all talked about it. Some, celebrity has a baby, and what are they going to name them? And more and more, we're seeing celebrities name their kids highly unusual names. And unusual, yes, is the word. Very, very unusual names. And you think about that. Like, so what does this do? And what does this say? And how, when the kids grow up and they grow into these names, what does it say about them and their brand? When people, first of all, we probably have these names you probably couldn't pronounce. But let's put up the slide of some of the names and put my glasses on so I can see, because this slide is just it's just a sampling, some unique brand names. You've got Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott, Air Webster, and this, but the Elon Musk and Grimes. Am I saying her name right? Grimes or Grimes? Grimes.
I think
Uh,
it's Brian.
Grimes. Exa Dark Ciderell. I don't. And her nickname is Y. The letter Y is Exa Dark Ciderell's nickname. And Grimes was doing an interview, or did an interview earlier this week, and one of the reporters asked her, why did you nickname her the letter Y? She goes, well, because of being curious. I want her to be curious about things, and the question why. So cool, very cool. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays with her brand as she grows up. So you got Cosmo, Scarlett Johansson, and Colin Jost, Antarctica, Lyra, Antarctica, Daisy Dove. That's Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry's daughter's name.
That's
I think
probably
that's
the
really
tamest.
cute.
That's
I
probably
think,
the tamest of
yeah,
the.
yeah. I like it. Okay, you gotta have to pronounce this next one, Barika. What's the next one? This Elon Musk Grimes other child.
XAE and the A12. I don't know. They look like planet names.
Yeah,
Like maybe those were the planets that he was trying to go to. I have no idea.
I don't know. That's actually pretty good. If maybe that is a reasoning. Then you got Reddix, Cameron Diaz, and Benji Madden. You got Gravity,
Gravity.
Gravity, and then, well, how do you say this next one?
I'm thinking of Kal-El, like from
Kal-El?
Superman. Like Superman? Is
Okay,
is
okay.
that Superman?
I don't know. I don't know Superman characters. Is that Superman? I have no idea. And then you got Pilot, Inspector, Sunday, Molly, Blue Ivy. Of course, we know who that is. And then who are the other kids? Sir and something, right? The other two, Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Rumi and Sir. Rumi
Okay.
and Sir.
Mm-hmm. And then Cricket Pearl and Birdie Lee. So, hats off to, parents giving their kids these unique names. Who's to say, for who is it for us to say, whether, these are the right names? They're the parents' names, and it is a personal decision. Just as we talk about brand rewind, because that's the foundation of everything we talk about, is what does it say about your brand? And within with these kids growing up with these names. I don't know. What does it say when they're both within the entertainment circle and then outside of the world of entertainment? It's going to be interesting.
I mean, I definitely think it's unique. So, obviously their names stand out. And so, in all honesty, like you want your child's name to mean something, to represent something. And so, clearly, to those parents, their names represent and mean something that, whether they grow into it or not,
Yeah,
that
I
is
agree.
up to them.
I agree. And you're right. You touched on something because what I did read in doing the research on this one story is that all the parents, they do have a reason why they've named their kids, given the kids these names. There is a reason. So yeah. So, and I actually think that the planets, the universe, is part of the reason for the Elon Musk child's name, the first one. I do think
Oh,
I
wait. Gail had a really, remember when we used to take offense when Black people named their kids crazy name like Alizé, like I like Lexus, Kia, like no, remember it was a thing. It was like I remember that. I grew up during that time, Gail. You are so right. Like
it's true.
it was a problem the way Black people were naming their kids.
Shaniqua was something I remember as a kid that,
Shaniqua, Janiqua. I got cousins that I have a Shaniqua, I have a Janiqua. Like, there were people who took offense to that because they couldn't spell it.
So that's why I say, who are we to talk? It's just fascinating to talk about it in the branding perspective. So what else do we have? So first of all, hello everyone who's here. So we got Desiree, Gail, thank you guys. Pop Research is here. Thank you, Myra. Yeah, hey Myra. Haven't seen Myra in a bit.
I know.
Hey Myra, thanks for being here. Fawn is here. Thank you, Fawn. So a lot of engagement. So we had a couple other comments, Barik. You want to put a couple more up?
Yeah. So here is I love that this one right here that says Gail's wishing you happy birthday to your dad. So that was really nice. Of course, Pop Research is referring to Donald Trump never seeing the inside of a jail, which I thoroughly agree that we would never see him, and that celebrities are always doing the most. And then we do have Yvonne, who also said hello. So hi, Yvonne. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And by the way, Barika Desiree was one of our winners. She won the hair. Okay, it's terrible. I can't remember. She won the hair kit.
Yeah. Congratulations, Desiree. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, she got the hair kit. Yes. Yeah, so thank you all for being here. So listen, there's always something going on. I mean, when Barika and Pati and I, we have our production meeting once a week, and we go through whatever we're going to talk about on the live show, and then what we're going to put in the newsletter, which will come out next week. And it really is a matter of picking and choosing with so much content out there. So those of you who are with us live, those of you who watch the replay, if there's something that you see, please do go into the Facebook group or page and shoot us a note if you see a story that you want us to weigh in on as far as the brand impact of that story and what we can all learn, because that's why we came up with this whole concept of Brand Rewind, is taking a look back at folks, businesses, and people in the headlines who made news one way or the other, tying to their brand and what we can learn, good or bad, or not bad. Let me see, good or questionable. Let's say questionable.
Yes. Well, that wraps up our show today, guys. We invite you to please go to www.brandrewind.com and sign up and follow us on our Instagram, our Facebook. Also join our YouTube, which is at www.youtube.com/brand1. And you will be able to connect with us there. But also make sure you sign up to our Facebook group so we can keep in touch and have conversations with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we do want to be more engaged, and I will admit because we all have our own businesses, Patia and Barika and I. So sometimes it gets a little challenging when we're kind of crazed, but we do want to engage with you guys more. So on that note, we want to engage with you on April 13th, which is the next time we'll be here on Brand Rewind Live, April 13th, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And again, we're going to have a whole long other list of stories
That's
to
right.
dish on and share with you. So thank you. Be safe, everyone. Be safe. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.